So next up in the losers bracket, we have Lugia on the right in the hands of Jono, and Tamao on the left playing Gardevoir. Jono has that turn 1 Lugia, has a turn attachment, and is going to pass things straight over to Tamao, who started off with a Cress, but does have that Artisan to try and fish out the basic. Could easily be a Ralts, could also have the Dreamer Mew play. Looks like he's going to have a look at what options he has available to him in the prize cards and whatnot. But Mew is typically a pretty good starter, based on his hand, really, how much else he has available to him. I saw at least a few energy and Super Rod in there, so not too many good options in that hand. Not that I could have seen, at least. Yeah, lots of energy. I think there's a Curlier in the hand, so he's really hoping that he gets some help from this Mew. Can at least get one Ralts out guaranteed. Trying to improve his odds of this Mysterious Tail. Really going to need VIP pass. A Greninja would unlock his hand quite nicely here from the VIP. That would be pretty huge. It's going to be the attached retreat of Cress into the Mew. There's a big Mysterious Tail here to see if he has anything going on. A lot of supporters, but the VIP right at the end. That's nice. And now can certainly get another Ralts. That's always one of the pieces. And yeah, eyeing up Greninja just to see more cards. Definitely reasonable here. I think there's another Psychic already in the hand. So all things considered, Mew bailing Tamao out. He's going to have a pretty good hand. At least a Curlier for next turn, so not just completely out of draw power. It's going to be the concealed cards of Psychic number 2. No supporter, just another Curlier for next turn. So we're just going to have to pass things over to Jono, who has his work cut out for him. I don't see any Archeops in the hand. It's going to be a Jet Energy to the Lugia. Possibly. No, just going to be researching the lot away. Not ideal. Couple bosses having to go there. We see Ultra Ball. Has he drawn into any? No Archeops. So it will be a Read the Wind here. Having to bench the Urshifu as well. That is so feels bad. Or he could be benching Luminion. It's all just so awful here. Yeah, the Urshi's going to go. He has another Research in hand, so yeah, he's debating Luminion here. No, it's going to be another single strike energy. He does, of course, have Urns. But yeah, having to spend this Ultra Ball on a Lugia also is really rough. I imagine now he just reads away the other Ultra... Well, he can read away the Luminion, possibly. No, it's going to be a Gift Energy that goes. But yeah, no turn 2 summon, unfortunately. Finally has started to see some Archeops pieces. Tamao's going to be able to start refining. Gets rid of his own Collapse Stadium. It's then going to be followed up by a Mew. Hits one of the rare candies, which is really nice. Maybe Tamao can start getting aggressive now, if he wants to. It's going to be a Concealed Cards next. So that's 3 Psychics in the bin. Do see an Arcana Guardian come into the hand. One way to spend your rare candy. Instead, it's going to be just another Curlier. Another Psychic hits the bin. Iono in hand, but not something you particularly want to do. You know your opponent did Read the Wind at least, though, so they have a decent hand size. What else does Tamao really want from this turn? I think attaching Reversal Energy to a Curlier and passing is quite reasonable, honestly. No attachment of the Reversal. I'm a little bit surprised by that, honestly, because you know that Jono basically can't use Gust and still manage a Summoning Star. It's just not happening. So I'm really surprised that he doesn't just attach a Reversal Energy there to a Curlier. Such a great way that you could springboard back if Jono does get a summon off. Tamao's drawn into a ton of his level balls. That's really rough. He's just going to have to pass things over. This Collapse Stadium hurting his push potential with more Ralts here. Jono now has the option to Aroma. That's going to get Tails. That allows him to get a basic Pokemon. Can Luminion fix this hand? I'm not too sure. He has a Mezagoza as well. Has a ton of his energy in hand. Man, it's so ugly. It's going to attach another double Turbo Energy, so he can actually attack this turn and take a knockout with the Lugia V. But his hand is just so weird. Yeah, he's going to go Iono to refresh his hand. He actually had Ultra Ball, so he could have done all of this. It's actually going to be a heads on the Mesagoza. I feel like he should have sequenced this differently, right? I think he should Mesagoza first. Sees if he high rolls V-Star, and then he could fish for Burnett and actually get into the game. As long as Burnett was available. But now, like, he's attacking with a Lugia V and just hoping once again that the roulette wheel gets him into some Archeops pieces. It's just a little bit risky, I think. So it is just going to be the attack with the Lugia V. He does take a prize card at the very least, but his mini quest of getting Archeops in the bin is still just not being completed at all. Has got Burnett in the hand for next turn, which is something, but... We do go over to Tamao now. How nice would it be if he had a reversal energy already committed to one of these curliers? It would be such an easy response. But hey, we have a couple psychics that can get burnt by Greninja first, and then some refinements, and then it's working towards another Guardy here, would be the dream. Has a ton of access to even more Psych Energy, has Fog Crystal in hand as well. Honestly, I think he's got Research in hand as well. It may not be a bad, like, refine one, then try and get a fairly pain-free Research in. Yeah, I like this a lot. You can get another Ralts developed now. And now you're having a big dig into your deck. Gonna be for a Zacian. I'm surprised this isn't a Ralts, honestly, especially if you're planning on evolving this Curlier in the active. Because it can get punished by Jono, as long as you don't find another Ralts. You do have a ton of outs for them, I suppose. We do see 7 cards. There is a Ralts. There's still a Refinement available to Tamao as well. I think he's just missing the Arcana Guardi. Has hit the Ultra Ball, so that can get him into Arcana. It's going to be Candy Level Ball that goes. That was the missing piece for Tamao. He'll also be able to develop a Ralts now. With Curlier in hand for next turn. So that's looking pretty good. It is going to be the... Yep, Arcana coming in. Does draw reversal, but has already committed Psych Energy for the turn. This Guardian's going to take a bit of damage on board, but it's only a V Pokemon, so you can knock it out a little bit easier here. Thanks to Jono just not having a great turn. I'm amazed that Tamao's not benching another Ralts here. It feels so obvious to just bench a Ralts. Yeah, it is coming down at last. Gonna see another energy come onto the Gardevoir. This is just safeguarding around Gust, I think. This is actually a really smart play. This means that if he is getting hit with like a T-Tar, Gust play or whatever, he can just come back in and respond with a Guardi without having to develop another EX. Finally, though, it's going to be the Burnett and the Summon. Jono's finally made it happen. You love to see it. Couple Archeops finally go in. He's gone around the houses to get these in the bin, but he's finally got there. Also debating a Mesagoza. Not sure what else he really needs here. But if he's already planning on getting rid of the stadium anyway, it's not a big deal. I'm going to see Gift Guard Double Turbo to the active. The Yveltal is also coming onto the bench now. Seems pretty safe. And it's just going to be the Tempest Dive, just the knockout here. Going down to 4 prize cards. We pass things over to Tamao, who does have a pretty substantial hand. We first see a Curlier before anything else. We'll have to get around V-Guard energy as well, so has to be cautious of how high his Zacian can get. It's going to be an Iono before anything else. The Iono is really not that great for him if he's planning on hitting through this gift energy anyway, though. What was he particularly looking for? Well, he found another Ralts, which is good. Getting more Guardy pieces is good as well. From a potential rod. It's going to be a refinement of rare candy. It's going to be... The Rolt's coming back down. There's a ton of energy in his discard pile. Yeah, so that's 330 down to 300 from the V-Guard energy, so enough to get a knockout. Tamao just 1-2 prize knockout away. Jono is revving up the... Well, has the aroma first. Did he get his gift energy activation? His hand doesn't seem that large. Did he forget his gift energy? We're seeing Archeops for 1 single strike energy. Then a turn attachment of one of them. And Jono is going to take the response knockout. I think he did miss his gift though. And Tamao should have an easy path, just a gust here. Yeah, reloading the Gardevoir has the boss's orders. No hand disruption from Jono. Means Tamao can close the game out pretty comfortably. So Gardevoir moves on, and Lugia is now out of the tournament with its second loss. Here we are then in the losers bracket. We have Connor on the right playing Mew, and Tim on the left playing Arceus Giratina. Looks like Tim got to go first. I see some energy. I see an Ultra Ball. That's everything you need to have a pretty good turn 1 as Arc. So that's looking okay. Maybe some difficult discards right now is the only thing holding Tim back. I think there's a Box of Disaster in there. I think there's definitely some V Pokemon. Going to be an Energy and Barrel that hit the discard pile here. And an Arc V is coming into play. And no doubt that's going to get an energy drop. And you've got to be feeling, all things considered, pretty good about it. Now, there is a world where Connor completely pops off. Already has that Meloetta in hand on a lot of Ball Search. There's a world where he can get the Sparkle Energy Tablet Rope. There's already... Is there a Rope in hand as well? Or is it Nest Ball? Definitely a good amount of push potential. But it is going to be a pass straight over to Connor, who picks up a Genesect. So his hand is just getting better and better. I'm going to see a Nest Ball first from him. There's very much a world. There's already a Rope on top of his deck. There's certainly a world where this Meloetta comes in and does some nasty stuff. Has the VIP as well. Can simply Ultra Ball away both these bosses' orders as long as he checked his Pal Pad and be very happy that he's getting a fresh 6 out the gate here. Going to be looking for Sparkle, Fusion Energy, Rope. And, yeah, Power Tablet. I'm amazed that he's just going for 3 cards here, but wow, it's worked out pretty well. He can Ultra Ball away boss VIP, take nothing, then he can Sparkle and Pal Pad in this boss. The fact that he's shuffling so much is a bit strange though. He's saying no to so many cards by going this way round about it, by just going Genesect for 3 again here. Hits Cram, which is really interesting. He's now debating cramming away the Pal Pad. Looks like no dice there. So it's going to be Power Tablet, and it's a Genesect for 3 more. Has the Sparkle that was there before. Has Path in hand now. I'm really surprised by his pathing, to be honest with you. Like his mapping, not the physical path. I feel like he could have just opened up his hands so much and given himself so many more draws to get the full combo there. Yeah, probably would have played that opening quite differently. Does have the Vacuum in hand, so does have license to go for the Path of the Peak here at the very least and make it more difficult for Tim to get into this game. So, yeah, and the Path is doing its trick. No Starbirth available, so Tim going to have to turn attach to Abyss Seek here. Big opening for Connor now. It's going to be a Path and a Psychic hitting the Lost Zone for Tim. It's going to be the Path removed, and then the Tablet into seeing some cards with Genesect here. Oh, not too helpful. Is a Rope, though, which I am definitely interested in. Just go into the other Mew here. It looks like it's going to be a Lost City into a Judge here. No, it's going to be 2 cards again. Oh, wow. The other Sparkle. It's actually a little bit risky, right? Oh, especially because he didn't select Meloetta as one of his choices. Has he prized some? How many are gone? If he had access to all 4, he would just... Oh, he prized 2? Oh, no. You feel like he probably should have judged there then, right? Especially because even though Tim passed, he saw 4 more cards from the Abyss Seeking. I think you should probably just be judging and giving yourself the most cards towards an attack here with your VMAX. Has drawn into Featherball, but I think no energy. Oh, can Ultra Ball away Nest and Ice Cube as well. So has access to the VMAXs, just no energy. Yeah, very unfortunate that the 2 fusions are in the prize cards for Connor here. Meaning that his turn 1 was basically off the table as well. So maybe that's why he did his pathing so strangely, because he couldn't get the Meloetta play anyway, that he just wanted to set up his hand in a different way. So in hindsight, having seen what was in the deck for Connor, it definitely makes sense that he wasn't pushing like a maniac for that Meloetta play. And Spiritomb comes down for Tim, and that's going to make Connor's quite bad hand much worse. Connor would just be trying to judge and pray. Next turn, basically. Actually, he's going to get a fresh hand from Iono, which is actually quite good news for him. He's gaining cards here. Can Tim get into double turbo energy? I just see V-Guards in there. But obviously Starbirth is open to him with the vacuumed away path, so can fix that quite happily. Already has a Tina V star developed, so is looking to get a second Tina V possibly here. Yeah, Tina V coming down. There's the double turbo from the second card choice. Going to see a Box of Disaster onto the Giratina V as well, and then just a Trinity Nova for 180. And I imagine he's going to be splitting his threats up. Maybe 2 energy on each of his Tinas total, based on how many are remaining. He has V-Guards in hand, don't forget. So yeah, he's going to split up his threats. Make life not easy for Connor at all. Connor has Energy Belt to the bench, and then has Ultra Ball to get his next VMAX, and can swing with a fresh VMAX, but it's still a little dangerous. There's a Tina V-Star on the bench that doesn't have a tool on it. There is going to be the Forest Seal Stone from Connor to get the boss's orders here. And he's going into the next VMAX, and he's just going to deal with this and take the 8 counters from Box of Disaster. This sets up Tim in a pretty nice way. He has a couple great directions now. He could try and boss with the Arc on the other Mew, or he could just go through this now damaged Mew with a turn attachment. Yeah, has the V-Guard energy, can pay the double turbo on the bench to Arc, and have a pretty good 2-turn attack game plan. I think he has to try and develop the Bidoof at this stage, because he knows that he's going to be taking 3 prize cards and wants to give himself additional outs to bouncing back after some possible hand disruption from Connor, who is still getting slowed down quite heavily by this Spiritomb. This Judge may make things a little bit more awkward as well. Cleansing Gloves, why not? And it is going to be a double turbo, going to the Lost Zone, finishing off this Mew VMAX thanks to the Box of Disaster damage. And that's it. It looks like the Spiritomb did the trick. Nothing helpful there for Connor. So he was pretty much stuck in the mud. Had no answer to that Giratina. That means that Arctina carries on, and Mew is going to bow out in the loser's bracket. So we have a round 1 rematch on our hands here in the loser's bracket. Tamao playing Gardevoir, who lost to Arctina in round 1, trying to get the revenge here with a pretty nice opener. Has the VIP to kick things off, has some energy in hand, so can retreat into that Mew, get a couple of dips with that Mysterious Tail. Always a great start for the Gardevoir players. So I'm going to have a look through to see what Mons he has available to him before he carries on with his opening turn. Always nice practice to have a look to see what's available to him. His hand is looking very strong. A number of Fog Crystal in there as well, so his hand is really good. I think no Greninja is one of the only things that's awkward here. He has so many, so much access to energy that it feels really strange to not have the Greninja in hand. Or not strange, but really frustrating to not have the Greninja in hand. I am surprised by the Zacian choice. I don't mind thinning the deck with Roar of the Sword, but if you want to go into Mute anyway, you're already still forcing a rare candy next turn regardless. Yeah, he's going to change this Fog Crystal to a Mew and just get a retreat into it by the looks of things. Yeah, still goes into the Mew. I still like prioritizing your setup over anything else, but ending on a Roar of the Sword isn't the worst thing in the world. This rare candy is actually a really nice pickup for still threatening that Zacian attack. He has EX in hand, so this is looking pretty good now, honestly. So he can Roar onto his Zacian, pass things over to Tim, who started off with the Giratina V. Not ideal. I think he has a few supports in hand. I think it's an Iono that's his best choice if he cannot attach to an Arc straight away. He's also eyeing up the Judge as an option. But it's going to be an Iono to kick things off. Giving Tamao a couple extra cards, but does put the Rare Candy EX to the bottom of the deck. Yeah, you can see that Tamao not too pleased about that. It's going to be a fresh 6 for Tim. Let's see if he can get into Arc Energy. That's still the priority here. I see Ultra Ball already. And I see Nest Ball and Energy. So looks like from the Iono, Tim does have a workable hand and can get into this game. Still pretty essential. Tamao, though, at least he's got, you know, a refund and gets a few cards back here from the Iono. Tim having a quick look through things, but we all know the turn 1-2 sequence for an Arctina at this point. Get your Arc Energy drop, and not much else from there. Can Tim weave in a path to make things more awkward? No, just going to pass things over. Obviously, the downside of pathing so early is that you would turn off your own potential to Starbirth, so just going to leave it as it is now. Just going to start... Tamao's going to start refining away. Gets rid of a Manaphy. That's freely able to be pitched in this matchup. And a second Curly is coming online now. It's going to be the Mysterious Tail next. I think Tamao mostly just looking for fodder here for his second refinement. Ultra Ball is an interesting pickup as well, potentially. Yep, that's coming into the hand. Let's see. Does have Iono available to him. He's thinking about that. Again, I once again like attaching a reversal energy for turn here onto a Curlier. Seems like such a powerful option. It's a refinement of the Iono, actually. It's a turn attachment to the Zacian. And then are we just roaring? Yeah, we're roaring again. Zacian's ready to rumble. I'm quite surprised by that, because one of the best comebacks, if Tim does go for a Nova play here, is you just bouncing back with reversal energy. I guess there's a bit more license for Tim to get the Gust play on whatever Curly you do attach to. So maybe that's the only thing that you're like disincentivizing. But also by forcing like a Gust, you make it so you don't get Judge Pathed. So there's even benefits to a Curly getting targeted. As it stands, I think Tim's gone for Double Turbo Energy plus Research here. It's going to be a Double Turbo to the Arc. Going to see a Path come down. Has the switch. And a very clean Research here. I wouldn't have hated a Judge there, honestly. You had everything you needed in hand. The only thing that's a bit nerve-wracking is you don't have like a Bidoof developed or something, but now does have Nest Ball available to him. And that's exactly what we're spying here. A Bidoof. And it is just going to be the Trinity Nova. Tim goes up in the race. Tamao's going to be bringing the Zacian into the mix. It is really nice, admittedly, to have an undamaged Zacian trying to two-shot an Arc. It is very handy to sit at 220 hit points, force Tim into having to attack with a Tina V-Star. Can be quite awkward sometimes, especially with a switch already played, so this slow attach strat to the Zacian is going to be beneficial to Tamao, who has his first refinement, has a Fog Crystal for another energy. I believe there's Rare Candy EX as an option for him in hand as well. Has one more refinement of another Psychic. Man has a lot of options going on now. Looks like he's eyeing up an Ultra Ball. Going to get rid of Iono and Rare Candy to grab an Arcana Guardi. We will see the Shining Arcana. Grabs another Candy now. So still has the option to Candy EX. He just got rid of that option but has gained it back. I think I like it because you know you're getting hand disrupted at different points this game. Yeah, Reversal Energy going onto the Guardi so he can set up this 2-hit KO onto this arc. Will Candy into EX finally on second time of asking. And now he has a debate of whether or not it's worth gusting here. It is going to be a gust play. He's certainly eyeing it up. It's going to be the Bidoof. So there's upsides of this. You're stopping the draw engine. You're hoping that your Iono's later game can be more powerful. I actually think I prefer most the single Psychic Energy Giratina to try and two-shot that guy. I think that's my preferred choice here. It would force him into this weird play where he still has to find a switch card as well as all this other stuff. So that's actually my preference right now. Because I feel like Guardi's very good at just going 2-2-2 here. By taking out a single prize mon, it still means he has 3 attacks to win the game, which just means like more stadium bounces, more of this, that, and the other, which can just be so awkward sometimes. Incidentally, Tim did have the Rope in hand, so he's going to get rid of Squovit and Rope. Can grab an Arc V-Star here. And if Tim has double Turbo Energy, he's in Disneyland, to be honest with you. That would be a really good turn for him. Doesn't need the maximum value of this Lost Impact. Could just attach double turbo to the active and get rid of it. All in the same turn. See a Box of Disaster protecting his Arceus. Oh wow, has the double turbo energy. Yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. So can take another 2-prize knockout now. We do pass things over to Tamao. Already has a reversal energy attached. Is still behind on the prize cards, of course. Maybe that was influencing Tamao's decision of just trying to two-shot a Giratina. Has the option to double reversal energy this Gardevoir this turn as well. We'll still have to find a stadium bounce here, though, this turn. Even with double reversal energy. Gonna be a Fog Crystal to kick things off. Get a Psychic out of the deck. Has some refinements to burn here. Going to throw away a Psychic Energy. Not too much help from that one. Really needs to hit a Stadium Bounce now. Arcana gets him Iono. Does have access to Super Rod for this level ball play. He's just going to get back the Zacian and the Mew. The level ball out the Mew. Looks like he's eyeing up this Iono line here. Definitely an argument to not attach this reversal energy because you want to have it for your next potential Gardevoir. Because Tim's on odd prizes. So you want to go Arcana Guardi, Arcana Guardi. Yeah, I like this play a lot. To make it as difficult for Tim as possible. It's going to be a big Iono for 5. Tamao definitely needs to find Stadium Bounce here. Without it, he is in big trouble. Ugh, finds the worker, but not the thing you want to see here. Really rough. And now, I think Tim's in a really good position, honestly. I think we've already seen the Arcana, honestly. Yeah, okay. So it is just going to be the swing with a Brainwave. Tim's able to get another Box of Disaster play off and research. So just another energy here would be another massive turn for him. See a Nest Ball. No target by the looks of things, so a Bidoof probably prized. As long as Tim has an energy this turn, I think he's still in a pretty good spot, though. Especially with those Box of Disasters. So the Bidoof was drawn into. That makes sense. Yep, has the V-Guard energy. It's probably honestly hitting the Lost Zone anyway. You probably get rid of the Psych energy on your Arc on the bench. Depends on actually if you have Raihan or not at this stage. Yeah, okay, just going to take 2 energy off his active. That's fine too. Goes down to 2 prize cards remaining. Doesn't have an easy route to take those 2 prize cards though, because he has a Box of Disaster on one of his Giratinas. So he's shut off his option of 1-hit KOing a Guardi EX right now. So Tamao still can try and mount this comeback. We see a Palpad pick up from this Mew. Tamao definitely wants to try and get the Iono into the mix if he can. Honestly, an Iono plus Crest play on the Bidoof here would be massive. May have to just guarantee the Stadium Bounce though with the Worker this turn. There have been a couple switch cards played for Tim, so you could really punish this with Cress. Does Tamao have access to the play? I don't think he has any Ball Search right now. Does have the Worker though. Definitely seems like the best option for me, because you can try and strand the Giratina. Forced him to find more payment of retreat options. Yeah, it is going to be the Worker. Energy, Guardi. So yeah, no outs to search this Cress, unfortunately, for him. He could now Greninja for 2 more cards and have a final chance to hit the Cress. Is rotting though, so he might be giving up on the option. It's going to be a turn attachment to the Guardi EX. Not the biggest fan of this. I feel like getting Greninja into the mix to draw 2 more here and just have a Cress is ideal, because if you can make that play happen, you're actually in decent shape. It's going to be a Palpad first, though, so again, I don't think he's trying to maximize his odds for the Crest play. Maybe it's prized. He's eyeing up this concealed cards now. It's going to be 1 energy onto the Mew. It's going to be an energy onto the Guardi. It's going back into the Brainwave Gardevoir here. And it is just going to be the Brainwave knockout. So possibly Tim bailed out a little bit by, I assume it's Crest prize cards here. Otherwise, Tim has a really good line of buying a free turn there. That happens in a lot of situations. Quite a few resources spent for Tim because he's been impacting the last 2 turns. It's going to be a good old Path Judge for Tim now, though. A really good position to be in. Putting Tim out down to that low hand size with no on-board draw, no backup Curliers right now. You'll be going down to 1 prize. If you can find this with Barrel as well, you're going to be so much more robust here. Let's see. A couple Arcs. There's a Cleansing Gloves. And just the Trinity Nova. Tim does still have 3 basic energies that he can filter out of the deck, which is looking great. He's not able to put this energy on the Bidoof. That's just not a possible play, because Bidoof isn't a V Pokemon. It's going to be a Gust of the Bidoof anyway, though. We'll pretend this energy is on a Giratina, and we'll just take the knockout with Gardevoir. Gardevoir is hoping to tank this hit. But the double Box of Disaster for Tim is going to make things a little bit more spicy, a little bit more interesting, I think. Both of these fully healthy V-star Pokemon might make life a little bit difficult for Tamao to close out the game. It is going to be a Raihan. The Grass Energy that was on the Bidoof, I don't think that's the only basic energy that has been discarded so far. I'm really hoping that Tim attaching an energy to Bidoof hasn't completely changed this game. I'm really hoping that's the case. But hey, we're going to see the Raihan. And what does Tim eye up now? Let's see. Is Tim saying he should be on 1 prize remaining? We'll have to check that back. Broken. Either way, he's swinging with the arc. Yeah, he should be on 1 prize remaining. That is correct. Tamao has found Worker, which at least opens up his hand a little bit. But with these 2 boxes of Disaster, I'm not sure if he can find a way of attacking with Zacian without knocking itself out and having a double KO here. Are we going to see a sudden death? Are we going to see a reset? We do see the Cresselia now. It's now having a look through some of his resources to see if he has a way out of this. Memory skip not going to help him too much with just 1 prize card remaining. Zacian can take on quite a few of these energy. But yeah, I don't... Are we just shy on damage here for Tamao? I think we're just a little bit short on the Zacian with the energy trapped. So I think that means Tim is cruising over the line. Very strange game there. But it looks like Tim is carrying on with with Arc Tina. And Gardevoir is finally bowing out.